Hello there, Sir from 17 once again, introducing you to my Max Payne 3 hardcore difficulty video walkthrough. This is the second section to a hangover sent directly from Mother Nature, and this is the shooting on the chain moment. So there is an achievement for killing, I think, 9 people while you're on this chain, and I still haven't got it because for some reason the sequence just ends sometimes. You must have to be a little bit quicker than I've been in the previous attempts, but it's kind of weird. Anyhow, this warehouse is pretty challenging because enemies are going to come from across the way on those like shacks on the other side of this area, completely adjacent to where I am now. And the cover is all this corrugated steel, and it's good, but you can still get hit quite a lot, so you want to be real careful. And all I'm doing here is I'm pushing forward tentatively to try and trigger the spawns. Because if you trip a spawn and you're in no man's land, this game is going to be really hard. If you can get back into cover and get back to a safe spot, you're going to be fine. Provided that you play intelligently, because you stay out of cover too long on this game and you're going to get railed, because the enemies are far too accurate for you not to. Well, I just noticed it looks like I'm sitting on that dude's corpse, the white guy with the dreads, which is never a good look. We really should stop trying to do that. But just push forward slowly, trip the spawns, get into cover, and hopefully you shouldn't be in too much trouble. In all honesty, this is a long level, but I've never really had much trouble with it. I don't think I've died on this mission. I might have died once or twice when I've rushed a spawn, but nothing stands out as it being challenging, so you should be good. As per normal, always look for painkillers, always try your best. I did not mean to pick that up right then. It's got a red dot scope on, and at this moment in time during the recording, I did not know you could take off attachments, and I hate the red dot on this game. It looks ridiculous. It looks like a children's toy, and I want nothing to do with it, because I'm extremely fussy about my optics, and if they look gay, I won't use them. But in the previous video, I was talking about the things that I like about this game, because I've talked about a lot of mixed things, and I haven't really get a full review of the stuff that I think's done well, because it's all done well. This game is exceptional, and it's exceptional for a lot of reasons. It's just if you're a hardcore Max Payne fan, you're going to see a lot of holes that people that don't have the heritage that we do aren't going to see. But things the game does well, the animations. You've heard me knock a lot of the animation stuff. Watch out for this guy, he's got a shotgun and he'll hurt you. And he comes out that door really cheekily, and I completely forgot about that guy, so watch out for him as well. I get shot sloppily, hopefully you won't have to. But I've complained a lot about the animations on this game getting me killed, getting me into spots of bother. Doing this right now, where he keeps putting his AK up instead of shooting, it's annoying, but my god does it look beautiful. Do not confuse my animosity towards something that is impeding my ability to do well on a game with a dislike of a function, because it looks so good. Aesthetically, it's amazing. It's just functionally, it can put you in a spot of bother that's not your fault, and that is something I would have liked to maybe have been a little less apparent. Because just look at Gears of War. When you go up against cover, or a lot of third-person shooters, or you go up against a wall, your gun goes through it. It clips through it, and I know that's not, the most accurate way to depict a game, but I like that, because then you don't have this nonsense of him putting his gun up, even though the animation looks awesome and it's realistic. But the animations on a whole is fantastic. The way everything dynamically moves depending on how it's impacted is really great. Like, there was one point in a shootout in the police station where I was shooting at a guy and I stood behind cover waiting for him to stop firing at me so I could go out and kill him, and Max rubbed his forearm across his head and mopped his brow, and that to me, those are the little touches that make a brilliant game, and this game is filled with those moments. Things that I liked. So, I love the fact that they've kept the reticle just like old Max Payne's. I was reading a forum the other day of people complaining about the double pistols being accurate at range because the reticle has no bloom. And none of the reticles in the campaign have any bloom because none of them ever did. This is a Max Payne game, the gun fire where you point, and that is the point, and I love it. I love everything about that, and I'm glad that they've kept it. And I was a little bit worried, to tell you the truth, because I saw a video of Max diving forwards with double Mac 10s, and the reticle was huge. And I believe that's what's in multiplayer, so I think I was a little bit misled. But I think it's awesome they've kept that. They've not, steeped to peer pressure like a lot of modern games have. Because, like, Call of Duties have always kind of had reticle bloom, so I never really thought it was a problem. But things like Halo never really used that type of stuff. It was more quaky and doomy with its aiming. And then Reach came along, and suddenly we had to accommodate for this unnecessary, you know, feature. I don't get that. But the next thing I really enjoy about the game is the outfits. I am an absolute fetishist when it comes to outfits in games. And I don't mean, you know, create your own character, you could make him wear a purple suit and pink shoes. I don't mean stupid things like that. I mean really cool costumes and just an emphasis on the costume. Like, a good example of what I enjoy is, if you ever played the original, well, I say the original, Prince of Persia, the PlayStation remake of Prince of Persia. At certain periods of the game, the main character ripped his clothing to show that he'd been through trouble, and to show that you had, like, upgrades and things. And it was only simple. He was pulling his sleeve off when it got torn and things like that, but your suit, it wore the scars of your encounters. It looked like you'd been on a pretty rough adventure, and I love everything like that. I love a systematic breakdown of your character's visuals, and this game does it terrifically, because I'm also a massive fan of, you know, little trinkets on characters, just little added features. And one thing I love are shoulder holsters. Ever since I was a little kid and I was watching, you know, cop films and like Bruce Willis films and Arnie films and just random action films, I always loved shoulder holsters. And this game is filled with them, and they're all kind of different. There's different types. There's back holsters, there's side holsters. They look cool as hell. There's straps everywhere, and I love that type of stuff. And I love how many suits there are, because I'm a big fan of, you know, a dude with guns wearing a suit. It must be the Hitman fan in me coming out, but that type of stuff to me is fascinating, and it looks cool, it feels cool, I enjoy it. And like I said, this game is filled with it. And depicting the damage and, you know, the toil on a character is something that games don't generally do, but every time they do, it's cool. Look at Uncharted. Once again, Uncharted, awesome holsters, awesome, you know, clothes getting knackered and getting dirty. That's got to be the future, that, because it makes it cool. It's so cool. There's no words. I can't even function right now. It's just, it's cool. That's all that needs to be said. and I hope more games do it, because it's just badass. But just be careful on these rooftops, because there's a couple sections coming up where people are above you, and it's like, you can see the sawn-offs everywhere. So the shotguns are so dangerous on this game. They really are. You've got to be super careful with them. But more features that I enjoy. I love the emphasis on single player. I am a single player gamer. I have been for a very long time. I do enjoy multiplayer, but I am not the guy that puts 40 days into Modern Warfare. I can't do it. I'm the guy that puts maybe 2 days into it and thinks he's played it a lot, because I'm just not that type of gamer. I play too many games, and my attention span is too short to play any one game for too long, unless it's an RPG, because I am an RPG whore. But the single player emphasis on this game is getting slated a lot on achievement websites, which I don't really understand. I mean, I used to be an achievement whore, but it's kind of worn off. Be careful here, shotgun guy, yeah, to your left. Completely forgot about him. And there's another one as we move towards this sheltered area with the grass. When you walk down this corridor, a door's going to open to my left. Shotgun guy again. I get so lucky that these guys can't aim on that first shot, because if I didn't, I would be dead to rights. But yeah, single player game modes, there's arcade mode, there's New York Minute mode, there's multiple difficulties. There's just an emphasis on playing the single player again. There's collectibles. I mean, sure, every game has collectibles now, but there's definitely replay value in playing the campaign. It even gives you experience towards the multiplayer, which I think is a good idea, because for the people that don't want to play online, they have something to do, and I think that's cool. The only downside to it is, once again, it hasn't really been optimized for the game mode. And what I mean by this is, if anybody played the Echo modes on Bulletstorm, they were the exact same. You have a game mode that values scoring based on time and accuracy and skill, but it doesn't trim out all the unnecessary cinematics and narration and exposition. And I don't get that. I don't know why it isn't just the gameplay moments strung together really seamlessly with a quick loading screen, because as it stands, the loading on arcade is horrific. because every time you do a level, and the levels are actually chopped up so they're not too long, it loads you back to the menu to pick another level, and then it loads you back into it. And they're not quick loading screens, people. They're far too long. But thanks for watching anyhow, guys, and you take care now.